Hi, this is Chinmayi. This video is going to be in English and in Tamil. So, this is a video where I clarify what exactly is going on with the dubbing union and my particular membership issue, right? So, I joined in 2006. Silinu oru kaadal thiraippadathila na Bhumika Chawla avargalukku kural koduthen, and the salary for that film was taken as my membership fee. So, they paid me 15,000 rupees on that particular date, and that money was directly transferred into the dubbing union, and that became a membership fee basically, which meant that there was no payment for the first film that I did. However, according to the bylaws, it says that the membership fee is 250 rupees. But this very arbitrary membership fee of the dubbing union, which is also compulsory, if you do not become a part of the dubbing union, they will tell you that they will prevent a film from releasing. Which is the exact thing that they told me at that point in time, and saying that I did not think that I'm going to have a very, very long career as a voiceover dubbing artist. So I said I was not too keen, and this Silinu oru kaadal will perhaps be the only film that I'm going to be dubbing for. I'm not interested, I'm only a singer, sort of a thing. But they said that if I did not become a part of the dubbing union, they would prevent the film from releasing. So basically, there was no option of not being a part of the dubbing union, and that's how it works here. I joined in Silinu oru kaadal, and thereafter, from there on, whichever film that I was a part of, I have dubbed for about 75-76 films, I think, in Tamil, Telugu and in Hindi. So the rule is, any film in Tamil that I dub, the union will take 10% of my income. If I also dub film in Telugu, for example, if originally the film was done in Hindi or in Tamil, and then they dubbed that film in Telugu, which is not like a straight Telugu film as they call it in local parlance, that film will also have a 10% commission. So where does this 10% go? The explanation that was given to me was that 5% of this this amount would go to the dubbing in charge, or rather the voice actor's manager, who helps in casting these voices, right from crowd voices to character voices to heroine and villain voices, right? 5% of this income goes to the PRO, and then the 5% of this goes to the union welfare fund or something like that. However, how the union worked was, they would take the entire amount or the entire payment of all the voice actors in a film, in a Tamil film, and that payment, let's say, there are some total of, just to give you a number, maybe let's say there are 25 voice actors in a film, including crowd voices, including the voices that has given for characters, for villain, for the heroine, or in some cases even if it is a hero, for example. All these voices, their combined salaries would be given as one check to the dubbing union, and the dubbing union would then cut out checks to all of us after reducing that 10% to all our bank accounts. Now there wouldn't be a receipt that would say that they have deducted 10%. There would just be a check, and then after a point in time, once I started having auditing issues, because there was no invoice that was raised by me to them, and then they would not give a receipt for, or a voucher for deducting the 10% from my income. So after a very, very long time, I started telling them that you basically don't want to be in loggerheads, and you don't want to be fighting with anybody about this. So I said that I will raise invoices to the films that I work on. Let me raise the invoice. You will anyway get to know which film that I am working in. நான் பேச போகிற படம் எனிவே உங்களுக்கு தெரிய தான் போகுது, என்ன அமௌண்ட்டுன்னு உங்களுக்கு தெரியும், நான் இன்வாய்ஸ் ரைஸ் பண்ண போகிறேன். So I would say that I'll raise the invoice, and then once the money reflects in my account, I would pay the 10% to the dubbing union. So a lot of times, since they would say that these dubbing managers, in charge people may not afford it, they would ask for cash. So we would give cash, and then some PROs would just come and say that they will go and deposit the remaining in the dubbing union. This is something that has just been going on for a very long time, and this is something that we do without questioning. Another thing that happened a while ago, I mean a very long time ago, was that sometime in the late 2000s, I think, they sent me a notice, a show cause notice, saying that I had spoken ill of the dubbing union based on a random rumor, and I was asked to come and explain myself. ஸோ டப்பிங் யூனியனை பற்றி தவறாக பேசினதாகவும் மீதி பேரை இழிவுபடுத்துறதுக்கு நீங்கள் வந்து உங்களுக்கு யூனியன்லேருந்து நாங்கள் டெர்மினேட் செய்கிறோம் அப்படின்னு ஒரு லெட்டர் வந்தபோது எனக்கு ஐ டென்ட் நோ ஆன் வாட் பேசிஸ் தட் வாஸ். ஸோ தே நேம்ட் அன் SS Music interview of which I took and that interview was in English. So I remember taking the copy of that interview from SS Music and then giving a copy at the dubbing union and then furnishing a letter saying that I have not spoken ill of anybody, especially that particular interview did not have me even mentioning anything about dubbing at all at that point in time. So I said, I don't know where this is coming from and why you would send me a show cause notice and threatening to terminate my membership based on a random rumor. However, I went to the dubbing union at that point in time, which was in Habibullah Road. It was in the old Nadigar Sangam building. I had met I'm not sure if he was the secretary or the treasurer, Mr. Selvaraj, at that point in time. And he said, okay, no problem, don't worry. And then that was that. They didn't even take it seriously. But the fact was they had sent me a show cause notice. So, if they had to terminate my membership, என்னோட membership terminate பண்ணனும்னா முதல்ல அவங்க ஒரு show cause notice அனுப்பணும். show cause notice அனுப்பிச்ச அப்புறமா நான் வந்து பதில் சொல்லணும். So they can't just randomly take a decision, at least according to their rules, that they want to, if they, terminate membership. Now, the dubbing union is registered as a trade union body and it's supposed to follow rules of a trade union and stuff like that. There was a point in time during the Sri Lankan Tamil genocide and the war crimes that were happening on the Sri Lankan Tamils unfairly, that the Tamil industry decided to register its voice of protest in several events, several protest marches and protest meetings, which I have also been very honest to my soul. I've always wanted to be a part of it. And the thing about that was that I think in a particular calendar year, there would be anything between 4 and 6 such protest meetings that would be organized. And what would happen is that if as a professional you had a different professional commitment, you would be expected to cancel that and attend the protest meeting. Now, considering that a lot of us would have been a part of these protest meetings, I have sung in so many of those events, helped a lot of these people, raise funds for causes. There was this one particular time that the meeting date coincided with a different professional commitment, a concert of sorts that I had in Kerala. That was a classical music concert or a ghazal concert, I don't remember well now. And I remember requesting Mr. Radha Ravi to exempt me on that particular day because I had attended every other meeting, every other protest meeting I had been a part of, and there would always be a registry that would be maintained by the dubbing union to make sure that all artists attended that. So, whichever artist did not attend those meetings either due to professional or personal commitments would be terminated, they would be suspended, and then they would have to come and apologize and give reasons as to why they didn't turn up. So I remember having a call with Mr. Radha Ravi saying that I definitely I had to go because I had taken an advance and I was expected to go and fulfill my professional commitment. And I remember Mr. Radha Ravi telling me that if I didn't land up at the protest meeting, he would terminate my membership and he would give me a red card, and that he was also a busy artist and he was also acting and he was cancelling his shoot and coming to the protest meeting, and it was my business to land up as well. So that day I had to cancel my concert and I went to the meeting, I signed on the register and I came back silently. Now, it was perhaps during that time that around that time I think a very, very popular female actor in the south was also handed out a red card because she acted in a Hindi film which was shot in Sri Lanka. Thereafter, I think she didn't really, I don't know if she acted in Tamil films after that, but she was given, there was disciplinary action taken for a decision that she really did not have a part on. But that was how some decisions were taken. And then there was another time that there was a general body meeting at the dubbing union. They claimed to have sent me a letter which never reached me, because if a show cause notice could reach me, I don't know why this letter couldn't reach me, because I was more or less on the same address. And then I had to go explain myself apologize for not having come to the general body meeting, and that was perhaps my first meeting at the dubbing union office, where there was a lot of abuse, there was a lot of verbal abuse, there was a lot of yelling and shouting, and I realized how he could yell when somebody didn't turn up at the general body meeting. So I was not the only one at that meeting, there were other artists as well, and everybody got yelled at equally. It was not as if somebody was given a special treatment, and I remember being so shaken that I was crying. My mother was also present that day, and I told him that the letter never reached me, I'm sorry, and he said that's okay, make sure that you are there at the next general body meeting. Now, coming to the termination of sorts, what happens is, what seems to have happened at the general body meeting the past week was that there was a meeting, and the council members or the other office bearers or council members decided that they would terminate me, and the decision to veto that termination rests with the president, which is Mr. Radha Ravi. Especially when something like this happens, they are also supposed to send me a show cause notice. I was not in the country, I had not received any such letter, neither did they intimate me that something like this happened. In 2016 February, basically by January 15th or January 30th, you are supposed to pay your subscription fee, which is about 180 rupees or something like that, right? And I have been paying all that, and I have also been paying about 10% of my income since 2006. So I'm sure their income from me alone would run to several lakhs. So I don't know why they would terminate my membership for not paying 180 rupees, right? Now coming back, in 2006 February 11th, I have a bank transfer that has gone out to the dubbing union for the payment of a lifetime membership fee. Now the lifetime membership fee is pegged at 2,500 rupees in the bylaw book, which is in Tamil, but they asked me to pay 5,000 rupees, and I paid 5,000 rupees, and I have the account of that from my bank account, which is on the 11th of February, which has gone to the dubbing union's bank account. So they have not given me a receipt for it. And 1 week later, they have also released a payment for a film that I had dubbed for, after reducing 10%. Thereafter, I was given information from the union to not make any payments or give any payments, because there was a court case, and I did not ask what the court case was and what the issue was. They said because we don't have a building, we don't have a union office or something like that. I don't remember the exact details. I said, okay, whenever you want me to pay, or whenever you want me to come and sign, I'll come and sign. So now, as long as I was concerned, they would, somebody from the office would always call me and tell me how much I'm supposed to pay for each film, and in whose name the check is supposed to be drawn, and I have always followed these rules. And if they asked me to pay in cash, and I have also paid in cash, and none of these times I was ever given receipts. I still hold the dubbing membership card. My membership number is 1733, and so far I have attended only one general body meeting in Kamaraj Arangam, and that was for a couple of hours. I attended that, and then I left that day post lunch. Now, so they are telling me that my membership automatically expired because I did not pay the subscription fee is false, because I have paid the lifetime membership fee. The next thing is that 97 people as of 2016 January have not paid their subscription fee, and their memberships were supposed to be automatically terminated. Now, in this general body meeting that happened the past week, they have not said anything about the other 96 people, because my name is also on the list of non-payees. And how did I get this list? Because in March this year was when there was the dubbing union elections, and this entire list of 97 people who did not pay the subscription fee, and hence they cannot vote in the elections, was shared with all other members. And I guess that was the reason why I also did not get to vote in the elections, I presume, though that is also wrong, because I have paid the lifetime membership fee. And to state on record, I don't have the receipt because the dubbing union office bearer at that point in time, whoever was calling me, said they will send the receipt through somebody via PRO at a later date, and it was that's how they have always been saying, and I would never follow up. I mean, it was anyway going from my bank, and I didn't think this would be an issue or anything that I should be worried about. So I let it go, and now considering that 96 people have definitely not paid the subscription fee. I am one of the, in the list of 97, one of those. I am technically, I shouldn't be debarred from the union at all. So nobody knows what happens to those 96 dubbing artists who have not paid the subscription fee of 180 rupees or whatever. And no accounts apparently are also properly maintained, and there is a lot of questions, there are a lot of queries on what exactly is happening with the 10% of income that is being deducted from all our salaries. In 2016, there seems to have been a case by Bhuma Subbarao, who filed a case against the dubbing union asking why they are taking this money, and they have taken about 1,10,000 as membership fee from her, but they gave her receipts for a lesser amount or something like that. So she has also filed a case, and it seems like it is because of her case that there was a temporary suspension, or they had stopped taking 10% from the income of a lot of dubbing artists. So as of now, there are a total of 16 cases against the dubbing union, which are all on record. I have the list of that. I also have it in record about the amount of money that I have paid to the dubbing union as dubbing union fee, and I also have it on record of all the amount of money that the dubbing union has reduced and and paid me as a balance in all these years, because I have been a tax paying citizen, and it is all reflected in my books of accounts. So I can pretty much, I guess, come to the conclusion that the dubbing union terminating me is not on the basis of my not paying a subscription fee, because that's false, and it is only because there must have been some sort of a pressure, and that also that I shared a lot of these stories of sexual harassment accounts against Mr. Radha Ravi. So that's where it stands. Let's see how this goes and how this is going to be worked on, because how the industry works is that other unions and other councils that work inside the Tamil industry cannot have a say and cannot interfere in the functionings of another union. However, there is a sort of a dichotomy there, because the dubbing union can now say that you are not supposed to work with a particular artist that they have terminated. They can send out letters, they can ask directors to apologize for working with dubbing union, dubbing artists that they have terminated. So there are a lot of issues like that. So if one of the basic questions that people should have asked the dubbing union is that if I am not a member of the dubbing union since 2016, I have actually done a few films after that, from the date that they have said that they have terminated me as a member. According to their own rules, they are supposed to have not let me work. They have allowed me to work, which means that they had acknowledged that I had paid the lifetime membership fee. So now, just after the Me Too movement, I guess they suddenly decided that okay, we have to say something against her. So it's going to be she did not pay the subscription fee. So they have come up with a very false account of what's happened, and this is clearly a way of trying to punish me for having come out with these stories, and I'm pretty sure of that as of today. So that's where it stands. This clarity was required, and that's that. I'll see you later. Bye bye.